Since it crashed earlier, I get to do some of it twice. What we got here? We got function notation. Probably 1 in 3 kids missed function notation on the last quiz, and it's so easy. This means let x equal 5. That's all it means. It's not hard. So f of 5 happens when x is replaced with a 5. 5 times 5 is 25. You add 4, you get 29. F of negative 3, same thing. Let x be a negative 3. I don't know what to tell you if you can't get this to click. I understand there's notation. That's why it says I teach Japanese. That's negative 15 plus 4, negative 11. That's how hard function notation is, and function notation is huge. You've got to get this down. This is number 10, average rate of change. Average rate of change is a concept of slope. That's why it's in this section. You're going to have to memorize the formula for slope. You are juniors. Slope is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, where this first ordered set of parentheses is x1, y1, and the second set is x2, y2, and then you just plug into the formula and you go with it. It's not a hard thing to do. So plugging in, I would have negative 5 minus 7, sitting over 8 minus a negative 5. And that would give me negative 12 over positive 13. All right, before I do the bonuses, up to the ACT stuff. When x is a third, what is the value of 3x minus 6 over x? This is somebody saying as easy as possible to find f of a third. That's what they're telling you to do. It's the same thing. So I do 3 times a third minus a 6 sitting over a third. And 3 times a third is 1. 1 minus 6 is going to be negative 5, and that's over a 1 over 3. And when you were in 4th grade, somebody taught you that division by a fraction is multiplication of the reciprocal. Somebody taught you that. So I do negative 5 times 3 over 1, because this works because multiplication and division are reciprocal actions. They are opposite actions, so I do the opposite thing. Anyways, I do all that and I get negative 15, a nice whole number. The second ACT question, and these are mandatory. I mean, when you take your quiz, you got to do them, or you lose the points. In the standard XY coordinate plane, what is the midpoint of the line segment that has the endpoints 5, 10, and 1, negative 4? There's a little glare there, isn't there? It's interesting. You don't see the glare on the actual piece of paper. There we go. Midpoint formula, which you've been doing for quite some time, is x plus x over 2 and y plus y over 2. You can't tell me as a junior you've never heard of her. You just can't do it. But anyways, my x's are 5 and 1, so 5 plus 1 over 2, and then 10 plus a negative 4 over 2. 5 and 1 makes 6. 6 over 2 is 3. 10 minus 4 is 6. 6 over 2 is 3. Those came out to match. Probably don't on the quiz, but whatever. I just made up numbers. There you go. All right, down to the bonuses. Given that f of x is negative x squared plus 6, find the average rate of change over the interval negative 1 to 2. There'll be some kids that miss this, that try it and miss it just because of sign mistakes, because of where that negative symbol is. So your little formula for average rate of change is f of b minus f of a, sitting pretty over b minus a. That's the average rate of change formula. And a and b come from this interval right there. They are x values. This is actually the slope formula. And I'm going to go off to the side and I'm going to figure out what these are, and I'm going to show you all my work. To find f of b, I let x be 2. It is a negative 2 that is squared. The negative symbol is not squared, only the 2 is squared. You think of it like this. You square the 2 and then you negate it. Plus 6. Well, 2 squared is 4. Make it negative because there's a negative symbol. And it turns out that f of b happens to be 2. F of a happens when you plug in a 1. There's a negative, and then I square the negative 1. When you square a negative 1, you get positive 1, but that negative symbol makes it negative, and you get negative 5. And now you're ready to plug into the formula. F of b, according to my work, is 2. Minus, because there's a minus. F of a, according to my work, is negative 5. And then we have b minus a, which is 3 minus a negative 1. I'm just making sure I got everything right. Oh, that's positive 5. There we go. I thought there was a mistake somewhere. That's negative 1 plus 6. Hopefully you caught that quicker than I did. Just something didn't look right. All right, where am I at? I'm at 2 minus 5, which is negative 3, and that is a 2. Apparently I can't write either. 2 minus a negative 1 is 3, and this is negative 1. Something seemed funny about that. My subconscious knew I made a mistake. Turns out I did. And I fixed it. All right, solve for x. This is the cover-up method. You take a finger, you cover up a factor. So 2x plus 5 is a 0, or 5x minus 13 is a 0. It's actually called the zero product property. You just cover things up. I'm not going to run through the algebra on that one. Subtract 5, divide by 2. Add 13, divide by 5. You ought to be able to do two-step equations in your head. You ought to. I realize some kids can't, but you ought to. All right, what's up on 7? Factoring. My gut says it takes a 7x and an x to make 7x squared. And my gut says that factors of 6 are 2 and 3, and my gut also says that's the right order. Order matters on this last pair of numbers. It does. The outside makes 21x, and the inside makes 2x. And I need this 21 to be negative, because negative 21 plus 2 is negative 19. So there's my signs. And there you go. That's the second part. I hope if you needed help, it helped. That's what I hope. Hopefully, your quiz grades will get better. Several of you did very well on the last one. Some of you got some work to do. So fix it.